Greetings, everyone. This is Jamal C. Boyd Sr. bringing you this next edition of The Journey. And today I wanted to talk about the growing up experience and growing up in the projects. A lot of people tend to look at where I am today and look at where you are today and judge me and judge you based on what they see today. You know, they don't know what you went through to get to where you are, and they don't know what I went through to get to where I am, or how my past experiences have made me and you who you are today. Part of my experience, I always say that we are today the culmination of all of our life's experiences, which means everything that you went through is what made you who you are today. And that's how I view my experience in my past. Had I not grown up in the projects, I think that a lot of what I learned during that time would have not contributed to how I view life today, how I lead my family, how we resource, how we steward over the things that God has given us. And I applaud and I also, love and don't discount that experience. Growing up, living in a high rise project, not always knowing where the next meal was going to come from, living on a floor with four other families and three other families rather, and being able to resource a meal. You know, we would have the meat and somebody else would have the vegetables and somebody else would bring the Kool-Aid, and we would come together and feed everybody on the floor out of one household. And those types of things taught me a lot about how to resource and how to be community focused, and to make sure that we loved our neighbor as we loved ourselves. Biblical principle that I learned later in life, but didn't know that we were living as I was living in the projects. You know, the way that I care for my home is based off of living in a high rise building where I used to have to get in an elevator that was urine filled, or it might have been feces in the elevator, or if the elevators were broke and you had to walk up those front or those back steps in the projects, you might encounter, crack vials or urine or feces, or a crackhead laying there so high that they couldn't move. I mean, these were types of things that I would definitely look at today as things that I would never want my children to have to experience. And most people, like I said, they don't know that that was my past experience because they see the end result of what God has done and where God has brought me to today. And watching people get murdered and killed in that project environment, more than I can say that I'm comfortable with. Those were the types of experiences that I had to go through in order to get to where I am today. And part of the reflection of that experience is that not only did I make it out of the projects and make it out of that experience, but it was God's covering that kept me to bring me through that experience. So, a lot of times I try to make sure that, those things that once were don't impact or impede your future. And, I had posted something on Facebook about me wanting a Bentley. And, some of the comments were very entertaining, to say the least, because generally, somebody in a project environment doesn't see themselves as being able to achieve or acquire something material like that. Bentley is nothing but a car, first of all, but it's something that in the projects you would only acquire if you were a drug dealer, or if you were a white man with a lot of money, and you wouldn't be driving through that neighborhood at a slow speed if you owned one. But to have that desire is just something that I want, and what I had posted out there and throughout there. But it was interesting to see how many of my peers who were commenting on that thread are locked in that project mentality, thinking that they can't achieve that level, or that just because you want something of that caliber, that there's a lot of stress or something that comes along with it. And I had shared back, I said, every good and perfect gift comes from God. And if you pray about something and God says that it's yours, then He also gives you the resources to take care of it, maintain it, and sustain it. And I think that that spoke to me in another way because it showed me that a lot of us at times are locked in that project mentality, thinking that you can't get out of the neighborhood, thinking that you can't get past your experiences. And I'm a living witness and testament of what God can do beyond your circumstances. More times in my life that than many people know about has God brought me from one experience to another and allow me to overcome my past or my past experiences. So, in summation of this clip tonight, I wanted to share with you or encourage you rather, to not be locked in a project mentality. Don't think that you can't get beyond where you are, because if you trust God, you're obedient to what He says His plan is for your life, God can move you from where you are circumstantially to where He wants you to be and where He's planned for you to be and where He's destined for you to be. I'm a living witness of it. And again, for those of you who know me, who have walked along this journey with me, have seen from whence I've come to where I am. And I'm not even all of where God is going to continue to take me, because I trust that this ain't it. I trust that there's much more beyond where I am right now, and I'm looking forward to all that God has in the rest of my life. But this is just a part of the journey where I believe God is elevating me to another level as I transition from my 30s into my 40s, and as I go through this house building process that God is allowing me to go through. And I think that it's going to be something that blesses those who are connected to me and connected to this process as we go through this journey together. So I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. Click share, click like, and help this experience become something great. Thank you.